Hi and welcome to my channel. So today we have a very interesting problem. So in this problem we have a data set called scores, and from this scores input data set we have to create this output data set. So this is our problem. So this question was asked in one of my BMS interview. So that is why I thought to share this question with you. So first let's create this data set. Okay, so we have this data set now, and in this data set we have name, subject and score. So from this data set what we want is we have to create this name, and all the subject should become the headers, and all the marks will come under this subject headers. So this is what we have to generate from this input data set. But there is one more condition in this, that we don't have to complete this question or do this question by using PROC transpose. We have to use some another approach. So this was the interview question. So let's see how we can do this first by using PROC transpose. So basically suppose if you can see this name is name and subject and score are there. So because this subject column is getting converted into headers, so generally that column we take in id statement in proc transpose, whereas this name statement, because we have only single row for each name, so this variable we take in the by statement, whereas in the var statement we will take the scores. And one more thing we have to make sure before using proc transpose is we have to always sort the data. So let's do this. So first let's use proc sort data equal to scores by name run. So when we will do this, the entire data set will get sorted by name. So let's run this. Okay, and in the next step what we are doing is we are using proc transpose data equal to scores, and in the id statement, or let's stay in the by statement, because we have to create single row for each name. So that is why we are using name in the by statement. In the id statement we will take this subject, and in the var we will take score. Okay, and run. So let's run this. So if you can see here we are getting name, maths, science and English, and under them we are getting these score values or their scores. But we are getting one more extra column which is name, so we have to remove this one also. So let's output this entire data set into another data set, maybe call this as result. Okay, and in the next, and also let's drop underscore name underscore from this result dataset, because we are also getting underscore name underscore. So, and let's run this. Okay, now if you can see we have the dataset, and by using proc print statement, let's print this dataset. Now we have this result dataset, and run. So let's run this. Okay, you can see this is how we can proc transpose. By using proc transpose we can transpose this dataset. But in the interview we have not asked to use proc transpose, so let's see another approach to do the same. So we can do this by using proc SQL. So let's see how we can do this. So proc SQL and quit, and inside this we will write our SQL query. So we are doing select, and to do this we can use a case statement, case when subject equal to, we can take math, then score, and as math. Okay, so this is one of our column, and similarly we can take 3 more columns for other subjects. So we have science and English also, so let's create 2 more columns. So science and English, and English, and science. And also one more thing we have to do, because we also have to we also need this name, I mean for each row for name. So that is why we are also selecting name from this. And after this what we can do is from this result table, from this scores table. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, now if you can see, for Jane we have 3 rows, and if you can see in the maths we have this score, whereas for the second and third row we have missing. The reason is because if you can see this input data set, so we have maths score here, that is why this maths score is coming as 88. But for the in the second row we have science score and English score, not the math score. So that is why math score is missing and missing. We have science score in the second row, that is why science score is reflecting here, and whereas in the third row we have English score, so English score is reflecting here. So now we have multiple records for these names, but what we want is in the output we want a single name or single row for each name. So how we can do this is, so now what we can do is in the same PROC SQL, we can use the group by, and in the group by we can use name, and also out of these three, first, second and third, we can take the highest of these. So how we can do this is, we can take maximum of this entire column. Okay, similarly max of this entire column, and again max of this entire thing. So let's run this again. So now you can see we have the single row for each name, and this is how we can solve this problem. So we have seen two approaches. So first approach is by using PROC transpose, and the second approach is by using PROC SQL, so with the group by statement. So this is how we can solve this problem. So this question was not that tricky, but generally sometimes an interviewer can ask you such kind of scenario based questions also, and he will also try to assess you how much how good you are with PROC SQL, or how good you are with without using any procs, how can will you be able to write the codes or not. So that is why I thought to share this question with you. So going forward I'll be solving more problems on my channel related to SQL and SAS. So if you like this video, do subscribe my channel, and if you have any other questions that you want me to solve, please do comment that question in the comment section. Thank you and bye bye.